Quite close to our previous stop at St Comb's Well, in fact overlooking it, are the remains of an Iron Age fort at the top of that little hill there. It's a bit of a scramble to get up to it, so we don't do it on the walk because you have to know the way and it can be a bit tricky. But it may be one good reason why the Celtic missionaries chose this area, this part of the world, as the base for their mission. Because if you can invade the citadels of power and you can proclaim the good news to the folk in there and convert them, then you have their support and you have freedom to move around the rest of the countryside to evangelise. And it makes me think, that these Celtic missionaries clearly had an eye for strategy when it came to mission. They weren't just doing things at random. And maybe begs the question of where we see the inroads into our society today, which we touch on a wee bit later on the walk. If you do scramble up there from the top, you can see clearly over to Macbeth's fort at Dunsinane, or Dunsinane, as Shakespeareans are apt to call it, but today it's called Dunsinane. So from one symbol of power you see another one, and maybe from one place of violence you can see another one. I don't know if there was fighting between them or what went on. But we do know that people fight over all sorts of things, over land and oil and power and money. We may even end up fighting over water in years to come. But the missionaries who came here proclaimed the Prince of Peace. And while the fault lines in our world are widening, and we see that in Gaza and Ukraine and Sudan and so many other divisions and places in the world, we need to remember Jesus calls us to be peacemakers, not just peace lovers, but peacemakers in our own lives and in our world. And so we take this time here to pause for a moment to pray for peace.